back to my channel. I'm Nadine. Thank you for being here. If you're liking what you're seeing on this channel so far, if you won't mind subscribing, I would really appreciate it. Thank you. So today I thought I would do a paint mixing video. So I don't really have a whole lot of paint colors left that go well with each other left. So I need to mix up some more colors so I can make some more beautiful paintings. So that's what we're gonna do today. So first we have to talk about pouring mediums before we even start mixing. So there are so many pouring mediums out there, like it's insane like how many you could really use potentially. Like you could use whatever in your own pouring medium. Honestly, there's so many out there. I would say the most common one, especially when you're first starting out, is Floetrol. This is the USA kind though, so if you're in Australia or somewhere else, I don't know if you guys have this, but this is from the United States. The next thing that I use is Gloden GAC 800. This product, I love this product. It is awesome. Like I never have to worry about crazing or anything like that. It's just an awesome product. There was actually a time where like they were out of like the big plastic bottles to make it or something, so like you couldn't get this for a while. So when I saw it come back in stock finally after months and months of it being out, I bought so many. But yeah, I really love this stuff. Now there's other pouring mediums you can use. You can use Glue-All, you could use Mix. There's Liquitex has pouring medium. The Liquitex pouring medium and varnish is very popular to use too. Like there's so many. You just have to find what works for you and how you paint and the results that you want. So one of the biggest pieces of advice I could give you, and I remember seeing this in one of Molly's videos from Molly's Artistry when I first started learning to pour. I watched her a lot, and she said you have to find your own way. You really do. Like this form of art and others as well, like it's very individualistic. So you have to find the pouring medium that works for you. I tried many others, and like not all of them, obviously. I still haven't tried Mix, and I really want to. But I tried like with the Liquitex pouring medium and stuff, and it just didn't work for me. I couldn't get it to work right for me. So, and this is what I found works for me. So that being said, I don't pre-mix my pouring medium. I basically like put Floetrol in and then I put some GAC 800 in. So there's no like recipe per se. And even, I'm gonna warn you right now, I do not measure. So these amounts that I'm telling you, like, it's a guess. It's a total guess. I'm not gonna lie, okay? I never measure, even when I do decide to cook. On the rare occasion I do. I don't measure. So yeah. So the colors we're mixing up today. So I've been wanting to do this palette, and this is totally inspired by Gina DeLuca, who, by the way, is one of my favorite artists and where I learned how to paint from like a lot in the beginning. So the first color I'm going to do is Folk Art Treasure Gold series, and then it's the purple Topaz. Treasure Gold series. This is the antique copper. This is like a copper with like a purple undertone. It's really pretty actually. And then we have Decor Americana Decor Metallics in 24 karat gold. Ultramarine Violet by Gloden, the heavy body. Totally for sure if I'm going to use this or not, but I use this color a lot, so it's fine. I kind of wanted to show you guys the color of every different type of paint that there is. So this one is Liquitex Acrylics Basics in Dioxazine Purple. So yeah, there's also another type of paint, I would say, and that's the Gloden fluid acrylics, but I don't really use the fluid because they're more for really thin consistency, and I like mine thicker, and I just like the versatility of the heavy body, because if I want to use a thicker consistency I can, but honestly with the fluid acrylics it's kind of hard to unless you have the mixed pouring medium that makes things thicker. Just my opinion. So I'm gonna put gloves on because I love to make a mess. I'm really good at it. So yeah, I need gloves all the time. So before, if you are using Floetrol, you want to make sure that you strain it. Otherwise you'll get little goopy things, clumps and stuff in it, and you don't want that. Usually I buy these like in tubes, and the first thing I do when I buy it is I just strain them both, and then I don't have to worry about it. So yeah, these are pre-strained, so yeah. So I'm gonna use this cup. I really like these cups, and I need to get more. I only got a few. These are the TCP Global. They're like automotive mixing cups or something. They have them on Amazon. They have different sizes. These are awesome for mixing in, by the way. And they come with lids too. I need to get some more because I only have a few of them. I love them. They also have this like giant size. I love this one. Use this for like if I have to mix up a lot of base coat, like back here, you can probably see it. Yeah, those are good for that. Okay, anyway, so I don't want to mix up too much because I'm stuck with those same colors until I use it, but we'll see. Alright, this is just Floetrol. I just sometimes put it in here for easier pouring, so I don't pour it everywhere, but so I just like start out with some Floetrol, like, I don't know, quarter the cup I would say that is. You can see that. That's like a quarter of the cup or something. I don't measure, so I'm sorry for people that measure. I'm just not one of those people. Alright, so let's mix up the tube paint is the easiest. So then I just squeeze some paint in here. I don't know, I just give it a few squeezes in there. Something like this effect. I know, it's very accurate. So then you just want to mix, I just mix in my paint just to get it kind of like mixed in there, and you want to make sure you whack it up against the side, and kind of like when you're like making homemade pasta sauce, you know how to break up the tomatoes against the side. You kind of want to do that to make sure you get it like fully incorporated like that, because otherwise you don't get all like the chunks and stuff and they don't mix well. So yeah, I rotate between doing that and smashing it up against the side. Okay, and then I just put in some GAC 800. I don't put as much as the pouring medium, so I put it in this thingy. So yeah, and then I just dump them in there. Like, it depends how thin I want to go, about how much GAC 800 I put in there. If you don't want it super thin, don't put in too much GAC 800 is what I'm gonna say too, because it's a lot thinner than the Floetrol. Yeah, it's real color. But like, see when I pour it in, it's like how much thinner it is. And then here I'll pour in a little Floetrol. It doesn't matter, I'm gonna need a little more Floetrol. And then pour in some of this. See how much like thinner the GAC 800 is? I don't know, hopefully you can see that. I don't know, my filming skills aren't the best yet, you guys. I'm learning still. So, and then I just mix that until it's, you know, mixed up. And then see how thin that is? Like, that's like not like pouring. That's like barely the consistency I'm going for. I need it thicker. So therefore that tells me I didn't put enough paint in. So I'm going to add some more paint. And then because I want more volume, I'm also gonna add more Floetrol, only because I want the volume. If I didn't want the volume, then I'd probably just add more paint or something. Alright, so I'm gonna mix this in here. Alright, so still need some more paint. I can tell because it's not thick enough to the consistency I'm going for it. If I want more volume and want to add more Floetrol, I definitely need more paint. And then I'm just gonna keep doing this until I reach a consistency I'm happy with. And honestly, you guys, mixing, in my opinion, it's all about feel. Like, after you do it like a gajillion times, you start to like know how it feels, like how it should feel when you're mixing it. Do this for so many times, you learn how to do it. And that's the biggest thing to get down in acrylic pouring, I think, is the mixing and the consistency, which, in my opinion, the best consistency video out there that taught me so much about it was Gina DeLuca. So if you're struggling with that, I highly recommend watching it. She's one of my favorite artists, by the way, in case you can't tell. I learned so much from her. So now I'm just gonna keep mixing this and incorporating everything until it feels like it's mixed. Like just plopping in there a little. Yeah, tell me it's like got too much paint. I need some more Floetrol, definitely. I don't like to add like all my pouring medium at once because like with certain paints, like it depends like on the pigment. Like even among brands, they're all different because there's different pigments that are added to those paints to get them to whatever color. So just a little side note. And again, I'm just mixing, I'm whacking the side, and I'm mixing fully. And another key thing I should tell you is after you mix your paints, you don't want to paint right away. I mean, I've seen some people do it. I don't know how they don't get like bajillions of air bubbles, because I would. But I wait at least till the next day. But yeah, otherwise, like, because from mixing, there's so much air bubbles in there, you know. You still have to remember when you're mixing, you gotta think about the technique you want to do. And like if you're using it for more than one pour, like I do sometimes, I'll mix up like, you know, a whole container or something of, you know, a certain color. And I'll use it for like 2 or 3 pours. You gotta remember the consistency you're going for. If you want to do one pour that stays a thicker and one that's a thinner, you want to make sure you leave that for your thicker consistency, because you can always thin it down. You can't thicken it back up. Oh, this is looking pretty decent for me. I don't like my paint too thick, but I don't like it super thin either. I like it, I don't know, in between, I'd say. I'd say somewhere around that 2-ish area in Gina DeLuca's video. By the way, highly recommend that video. At some point, I'll make a consistency one, but I'm still learning here how to film this. I don't even know how good this one's gonna come out. I'm hoping better. I got a better light, so that's good. Well, we'll get there, you guys. Man, this looks pretty good for me. So it's making a mound. Not a very big one. It's like a disappears. As it sits, they usually thicken up a bit, so I don't want them to go like, I could add more paint realistically, maybe like a little more, but you also don't want to add too much paint because then it feels like super thick and not like fluid like it's supposed to be. I add just a little smidgens of white to this because this dries like, it dries like extremely dark to where it almost looks like black. So if you add just the tiniest bit of white just to like brighten it up a little. It's probably too much, but it'll be fine. Yeah, it's just so it doesn't dry too dark. Yeah, the amount of white I put in there, like it barely, like, it doesn't change the shade a ton. But you do want to make sure you fully incorporate it and mix it, otherwise you'll see little like white lines in there and you don't want that. I would also highly recommend, something else I really like to do is to make my own colors, and I'll do that now and again. But you can get such a beautiful hue and tone when you make your own colors. FYI, just a little tip. So yeah, like you just have to practice with the mixing and it'll come. Like everything in food art comes with practice and time, I would say. So that's our first color. Really pretty. The color, see, the color didn't change too much more. That's our consistency. It's leaving a mound, but not a very big one. Next color is, we'll do golden. These can be a pain to mix, especially these little ones out of the tube, but I just had this, I'm just like, I'll use it, you know. It's a pretty color, but like, they're, I don't know, the ones out of the tube versus the ones in the jar here. I have some, see, this one's like really like thick kind of, how it comes out. And this one looks like a lot creamier, right? Well, the ones in the jar, I recommend getting more. They just like mix better. I don't know, the ones in the tube, they just like are really thick. You really have to mix them, like really make sure you're mixing them well. Because there's been times where I've thought I've like mixed it fully right, and then I go to pour it and there's still like big chunks of like paint that wasn't fully mixed or incorporated. So yeah, I might. Alright, we're gonna use the rest of this in the bottom here. And then I'm probably gonna add just a little bit more, not too much more. So I always want to go less on the pouring medium because you can always add more. You can't always take it up, you know, and then depending on the pouring medium, it can make it too thin then. Okay, and then this, I just kind of squeeze it in here. I'm probably going to need most of this, but I'm going to save some of it. It's like clean this off too well because it's a very similar color. So it's like that. Okay, you want to mix until you see the full color like get incorporated to where it's not all chunky, because that's how it is in the beginning with the goldens. And until it's not all white looking when you see like the full purple pigment color coming through, if that makes sense. So yeah, these take a little bit of arm muscle and everything, but it's kind of worth it in the end, in my opinion, because some of the colors are just very gorgeous. But again, I recommend getting the tube. They mix so much better than these ones. I don't know why, but yeah, that's just the way of it. I'm gonna put some more paint in here because I know I'm gonna need it. I'm not gonna put all of it, but good amount. Okay, and then I'll put some Khaki 100. Only thing I would advise is with the pouring medium that I use. It's getting pain in myself for writing this puddle I had right here. Okay. What was it saying? Oh yes, with the pour medium that I use for these paints out of the tube, don't put as much GAC 800 because it thins it out. And for some reason, these just aren't as thick and creamy as the ones in the jar, so they just like, I don't know, it's just like thinner than my other paints. So, just a warning. Did I put any of this in here? I don't even remember. I don't think I did. I think I got distracted and was talking. So I don't have a ton in there. I just put like a little healthy layer on top. And then I like mix it. I don't know. I don't measure, I'm sorry. I'm hoping this video is even helping because I don't measure, so. It's seriously a feel though, you guys. You just have to do it over and over and over and over and over. And then you feel what it feels like when it's mixed right. Like that's my biggest piece of advice is you just have to keep doing it. And then you become awesome at it eventually. After 500 million, times, you get it after the, 500 millionth in one time. I feel like to use less paint with those too. Like this stuff's highly pigmented, but it's also depending on your pouring medium. Like if I had mixed, I could probably thicken it up, but I don't. So you just gotta work with what you got, I just don't have the money to buy a mix really right now. So that's where we landed with that. This color, I like this color, it's pretty, very pretty. So there's our consistency. What color to get? Oh, not a giant mound. The traces and stay very long. Yeah, that's about a good consistency for golden. I don't want to make too much. It's kind of hard to like do this fast. This is like a slower kind of process. So I'm gonna move that so you guys can actually see what I'm doing. That might help. Okay, that's looking pretty delicious. I'm just plopping a little too much. Like sometimes it like kind of plops in there and makes this like pancake noise. I don't know how to explain it. You guys just have to do it a lot. You know what I'm talking about. So I'm just gonna add a little cafe 100 and just mix it around a bit. Should be fine then. Like yeah, you just have to do this and then you'll know what I'm talking about. It won't sound like I'm crazy. When I mix it in here, I put press and seal wrap over it. I actually don't have lids for these, so fortunately I can't put the lids on, or I'd put the lids on over too. But even with just the press and seal stuff, this stuff will last me for months and months and months, like in here. The only thing you have to be careful with is sometimes it'll like get like a little hard and stuff on the side, so you don't want to like scrape the sides, but you can always put it in a new cup. But yeah, it lasts for a while for me before, so I love this color, by the way. It is so pretty. It looks like really coppery, but it has this really purpley undertone. It's beautiful. So the folk art ones and the Deco art paints are a lot thinner than the ones we just mixed. So I said this before, but there's different like categories of paint. So like you have your medium body, your heavy body, what's the other kind? And then you have like your fluid acrylics, and then like craft paint kind of. I would say these are probably similar to like craft paint kind of consistency because they're thinner. And then the heavy body, that would be the Goldens that we use. And then the medium body paints are like your two paints like Arteza, Artist Loft, Liquitex Basics. Is that it? I think so. I don't use all the paints though, so if I'm forgetting one, I'm sorry. Okay, now we're going to put in some Floetrol, but I'm going to start with less than I did for the other ones because it's A, thinner paint, and B, because it's a metallic and so there's mica in it, so it appears thicker than it really is. So you always want to leave your metallics a tiny bit thicker than like these regular colors. Okay, so I'm gonna dump some in here. Oh no, I'm just dumping some in there. Couldn't tell you how much, you guys. I have measuring lines like right over here, but I never look at them or anything when I'm mixing whatever. Okay, so I'm gonna mix this in here just so it gets incorporated. Alright, now I'm gonna just pour in some Deco 800 again. I just do like a layer on the top. It's like not a ton. I don't know how much I do. I'll show you the cup when I'm done. Yeah, I just do like a little healthy layer, and then I might do a couple of those in here. So alright, definitely need more paint, I'll tell you that. Alright, so we're gonna add some more paint. See, it's way too thin yet. Then you can do this your own way. You don't have to do it how I do it. This is just what works for me. I like simplicity. I don't like recipes and having to get a scale out and measuring. But then there's some people that are really, about measuring, and that works for them, and that's okay. Everybody's different. Everybody has a different thing that works for them. So this works for me. Alright, that should be good. Now that sits, it'll thicken up even more so. Just like a mound. And a huge one, it leaves a mound and then it goes into itself. It's like pretty right away. You might have to thin this up a little as it sits. It might get thicker. And it's gonna open a new Decor paint, the metallic line or satin enamel line. This is what I believe makes it a great saw maker. Okay, so you see on the top there's like that oil slick. Yeah, you want to make sure you fully incorporate that and mix that in. You don't want to use it without mixing that because it separates from it because, well, it makes sense because like oil is, what is it, heavier or lighter? I forget. But anyways, when they separate from one another because they're, heavier or lighter, one of the two, but you know what I'm saying. See, so you want it to look like that delicious goodness, not the whale slick goodness. I remember when you couldn't barely find any of these over the pandemic, it was scary. Everybody was like, oh my god, what if I can't get my Decor 24K Americana? What are we gonna do? We'll invite ourselves. It was funny. In here. I don't know, I guess I like that. Should be good. And then, okay, this is the one I like. It is Liquitex Basic Cadmium Yellow Medium Hue. I like this better than the light one because it just has like a deeper hue, and I just like that better. The light one though, if you're looking to get sales, it is a summer fair. But not the medium for some reason. Don't ask me why. Okay, so you want to go little on the yellow and like heavy on the white. In fact, that might be too much yellow. I might have to add more yellow. And the white I'm using is just this that I have open. It's Liquitex Basics, Acrylics, and Titanium White. I can do Cupid Scoops. I'm probably need more because I think there's some purple on the spoon because it's getting into my white. Like right in front of where I'm doing stuff. Alright, so then I'm going to mix this together and mix it thoroughly till everything looks like it's combined. So that's the shade I have. Now, if I'm cool with that, then like I would just like keep going and maybe add more of my pouring medium and stuff. But I want it a little bit lighter, so we're gonna add some more white because I want it like Naples yellow is like lighter. So okay, I want to get another color in here and good. So we're just gonna add some more white like that because I'm gonna put a little more medium. Sit here and show you all day how I do it, but I know exactly how it feels and exactly what it looks like because I've done this like so many times. This is how I learned and how I taught myself. So yeah, that's my biggest piece of advice, and to find what works for you and do what works for you, not what works for maybe this famous artist or that famous artist. You know, everybody is different and everybody's gonna have something that works differently for them. Don't really think you're gonna be able to see this one that well because it's really light colored. I think I can try, but yeah, it's leaving a mound, not a very big one again, but yeah, it's my Naples yellow color. If you guys have any questions about mixing your paints or just any questions in general, like please reach out. I'm more than willing and happy to answer them. I look at all the comments that you guys say on my videos, so please, if you have another question or comment or anything, please don't hesitate to put those out there. And the last thing, I want you guys in the comments to tell me why you love art and why it inspires you. Thank you, and have a good night, and thanks for watching, and I'll be back again in a couple days to bring you a painting with these delicious colors. So don't miss a beautiful painting or two, depending how much color we have. Don't miss out on my painting with all these beautiful colors, and there might even be two, depending how much paint is left. Have a good one, and thanks for watching.